Alright, hello? It's gonna be a first time trying this, so bear with me, YouTubers.
My name's
Oh, there. I don't know, where do I... How will this be it? Oh. It's gonna be a first time trying this, so... Nice. Okay, well, there might be a little delay, but hopefully that's alright. Alrighty, well, hopefully that works. Okay, no dropped frames. Alright, and we'll start the recording there. And I guess we'll just hang out. Let me put this over here. Yeah, it's working. You guys can hear me all right? Stream is clear and all that. Beautiful 1080p. All right, you might get some echo here. I want to test to make sure the volume sounds okay. See how far behind I am. I don't know, where do I... How will this be it? Oh, it's not live. Beautiful 1080p. So it seems about 15-second delay. I wonder if I can change that in my settings. Maybe not. Maybe not while I'm streaming. Well, that's okay. Next time I'll try and make sure to do it without a delay, but for now, this is gonna have to do. Alrighty, well, you guys know the drill. Or, I don't know if anyone's actually in here yet other than my boy Oleg, but we'll give it maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that. And then we'll take a look at how Bitcoin's doing. And sneak peek is not doing great. And then we'll talk about some stuff that is doing really well, which for the most part is decentralized exchanges like DYDX, which I mentioned this the other day. I'm looking to buy the dip to 170, and it went all the way to 170, and I fumbled the bag. Totally spaced on it. But anyways, what are you going to do? Had the setup and everything just totally spaced. But that's doing pretty well. I think Sushi's doing all right. Uniswap's doing kind of all right. Another one doing well. I think GMX is doing pretty well. Oh, GMX is doing very well. Is this new all-time highs? Not quite. So yeah, pretty nice. Almost 100% moved in the last few days. So GMX is obviously pretty undervalued. But yeah, that's the game plan. We'll look at some of these in a little bit more detail later, but we really just want to focus on Bitcoin because that's obviously dictating every single thing that happens in the market. And I'm just now seeing this 4-hour close. That is terrible. Wow. I'm happy to be short right now. Small short, but you know, short is a short. We'll take it. Some kind of hedge against my Excalibur longs. But yeah, anyways, give it a few minutes and then we'll get started. Oh, we got two watching. 2 people have made it to the YouTube here. You guys gonna get some exclusive stuff. I might have to give some really sweet alpha out today for the first people on the YouTube stream. Could also be a problem that I said 2 o'clock stream, and then I remembered I had to be somewhere at 2:30, so has to be a 12:30 stream, unfortunately, but hopefully that's not too big a deal. And I believe I'm recording. Yes, I am recording, so some of you guys, I guess, will be watching this back later on the VOD. And honestly, in that case, I might as well just go ahead and get on with it. I know there's not that many people in here, but let's go ahead and take a gander. Anyone who joins midway, I'm happy to repeat myself, but the VOD streamers, I'll try not to waste too much time here. So let's start up from the monthly. Just looking from a strict price action standpoint, nothing great yet, right? We're still just doing the same pattern of lower highs with every bearish monthly candle. And right now, the key level to beat is this one here at around 23,000. So that's the key TMS. A couple of weeks from now, we'll close. I don't imagine we're going to be above 21.4K, at which point this will become the key TMS on the monthly that we're looking for a bullish engulfing or some kind of daily reversal. The cycle's nice and low, still coming down, no sign of reversion yet, but you know, it's a good sign that we're getting low. I think from a timing standpoint that we're getting pretty close to a bottom. You know, maybe it takes a few more months. I think we're going to bottom by the end of the year. Maybe it takes into early spring, end of winter, stuff like that. I think that's totally reasonable too, but timing wise, I think we're very close to the bottom. We're just waiting on this cycle to cross, momentum to revert, and ideally a bullish engulfing candle on the monthly that also closes back above the 8. Speaking of which, let's look at some EMAs. The 8 EMA, which on the monthly is showing us the trend of our daily and 4-hour time frame, and right now that is down, and it's coming down pretty hard. So I imagine even if we pop up to there, which is around 24K, it's probably going to act as resistance and potentially another lower high in front of this 25K lower high. But excuse me. But anyways, yeah, that's what we're looking for on the monthly. None of that is there yet, right? We're still in a downtrend. The cycle's low, but it hasn't crossed up. Momentum is still coming down at a pretty heavily increasing rate now. So, and we're trending below every single EMA on the monthly. Now, Bitcoin's kind of early, you know, big picture wise, Bitcoin's still early in its cycle. So I don't think we actually have a 200. Let's see how long we've got here. We're 150 bars, so we're still a few years away from having a 200 period moving average on the monthly, but I would wager that if it existed, it would probably be somewhere in here. What we can do is delete some of these, and we can just do like, no, I don't want an EMA. Can't just get a regular moving average? My goodness. We can do like, what was it? 149? There we go. So yeah, that's about what I would say. I imagine a 200 when it exists will be a little bit different, but this is essentially our very long-term support, and that does not really surprise me. Because when you zoom in, you get all kinds of different details, but on the monthly, this big run up only created a handful of levels. You know, the bulk of the move was basically straight from 10K all the way to 60. I mean, there's no stopping point that's visible on the monthly. You zoom in, sure. But for us, I mean, this is the only real candle that we even really paused at. And, you know, those of us that were active back then very clearly remember this, especially people who were following me, because this was my strong arc. But this was the post DeFi summer blow up, right? I mean, this move looks dramatic, but really some of the best gains came from DeFi summer, which you can't really tell from Bitcoin, but altcoins went really crazy then. There were a lot of new stuff. DeFi was really hip and new. And then we paused for about a month and a half, and we shot to the moon every month after that. When we zoom in, we'll see it right around where we are now. There's kind of a lower time frame level. Let me go back to this active chart too. There's going to be a lower time frame level around 16K and 18K, but really right around 10K, 10 to 12K is the only long-term support I see. And then, we could start to outline a couple more, like the top in 2019, the highest close from the previous bull market. So that's like 14K. But, it's kind of anyone's best guess, where we might stop on the way down. You really don't know. If we hit 14K, we could hit 10K in the same daily candle, right? The last big capitulation is probably going to look like, a candle like this, candle like this, candle like this. It's going to be a big boy. So, if we make it down here, it's not that out there to think we can make it down here in the same amount of time. But, anyways, so the monthly's bearish. No other way to put it. The only slightly bullish thing is that we've been coming down, pretty much just coming down for a while, 12 months now, a whole year of coming down. There will likely be a significant bounce, I think in the next 3 or 4 months. But, we'll have to see. For now, there's really no signal. The simplest thing to do, guys, is just throw up an 8 EMA on your monthly charts. And when price is trading above that, it's time to be aggressive. It's time to go max risk, No more risking 1% on trades. Now we risk 2%. Now we risk 3%, right? Like, that's what I like to call easy mode, right? When we're trending above that, that is a very strong trend where anytime price dips back to the 8, there's a significant amount of buyers. Once you start to crack that, you got to be a little more cautious. In here, right, this big run here, I made a ton of money on Spell. But right before that, I pretty much sold the bottom on a lot of different stuff. I puked Woo Trade. Not all of it, but I puked a lot of my Woo Trade at like 30 to 50 cents, right? And I bought some back, but not a lot of it. And a lot of that went to like $1.50, so I puked some of that stuff. But when we closed back above here, I had accumulated some Spell, and I bought some more. There was a dip in here. I bought some more. And then where I made a mistake, honestly, was, I kind of got a little bit baited, right? Like, this was a close above the 8, but the grand scheme of things, the big lower high that was on the monthly, this candle here, we didn't actually break. So I kind of got jebaited there, and I kind of got a bit greedy, and that's when I was getting big into time and butterfly, stuff that looking back, obviously it was going to go down. Like, free money for everyone every day, only in the reward token that you're pricing everything in, Naturally, it's going to fluctuate towards 0. But, oh, well, they're new. Maybe they won't, blah, blah, that kind of mindset. So kind of got jebaited there, but also kind of just got a bit too greedy. But anyways, close back below the 8. It's time to stop. It's time to stop dicking around, And, around here is where my portfolio actually bottomed. And on this move, didn't lose that much money and ended up actually surpassing, 200, 300% from my bottom on that move. And I was still probably taking a little bit more risk than I should have, but I've also de-risked a lot of my portfolio from the highs. So what I have left in crypto, I'm willing to risk a little bit more of, simply because I don't have as much as I used to anyways. So if I lost 20% of my crypto account relative to my net worth, it's not really that drastic of a blow. But, once things get bullish again, we get back above the 8, I might be willing to start sending some funds back over from the bank, and that'll kind of change, exactly how much I'm going to risk and all that stuff. But for now, it's just not the time to be super aggressive. I mean, the big fear when you're sitting in a market like this, right? Like this, I mean, is like these candles. Like, if you see it on the daily, everyone wants to hit that candle right there. Everybody wants to hit that. When you're sitting through just chop, 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 pain, 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 everyone wants to hit that candle. If you miss that candle, you're retarded, right? You missed out in the bull run. But in reality, this is the candle that started the new trend above the 8 EMA on the monthly. This was a buy signal. And from then on out, you stayed above the monthly until about November. And that's when you entered that same pattern that we're in right now, right? This pattern of lower highs with monthly candles, right? And you started doing it again. You started doing it again until really DeFi summer. And it's kind of BS, right? Like I think this would have been actually a really good setup with this bullish engulfing back above the 8, and it was really nice. We had this retest of the 8, everything looked good, and then COVID hit and ruined it. But eventually that stabilized. We got right back above the 8, and then it was time to load longs again, and easy mode was on. Right? So that's essentially what we're waiting for. And of course, the macro environment is much different. We don't have the money printer running like we did in 2020. So, anyways, guys, it's only like 3 data points, right? This is only a few data points, but this idea of taking out previous monthly candle highs, that is not exclusive to trading cryptocurrency. That works in the forex market, that works in equities, fixed income, all kinds of stuff. It's not rocket science or anything, but anyways, it's always nice when your 8 EMA lines up with that key engulfing you're looking for, because ideally when you get one, you get the other, and that kind of sets the start of a new trend. But anyways, right now we ain't got it. It's still bearish. The bottom's probably closer than the top, but like I said, if we can't hold, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about on the weekly here. This is the only pit stop between 10K and 40K. Right, and we are pretty much sitting right in between the top of that, which is the bearish side. I'm not going to change color or whatever, and the bottom end of that, which is basically our... sorry, I hit the mic. I hope that wasn't really loud. And the bottom end of that range, which is what we're sitting at as support right now. If we lose that, right, like it's anyone's best guess. For me, it looks like 12K down to 10K. And at that point, I mean, we don't really know. Now that so many big funds and market makers got wrecked, we don't really know how much demand is going to be where. Is there really going to be a lot at 12? Is there going to be a lot at 10? Is there just going to be so many overpowering liquidations that the bid doesn't even matter? I mean, is Saylor going to get liquidated his billions? Like, we really don't know how it's going to go. So, you can keep throwing up your levels, because at some point, it's kind of just a guessing game. If we break 16.2, for me, we can identify the levels all we want, but it's pretty much just a guessing game which one's going to catch. And if you're not confident, and for me, I, for one, am not extremely confident that I will be able to just snipe the bottom, your best bet is just to be patient and wait it out, right? Accept the downside, you're not going to snipe the bottom, and accept the upside, that you're not going to be stuck knife catching at 15, 14, 13, 10, 12, 5, wherever it goes. You just wait it out. We get back above that monthly 8, maybe you start to bid. You get a 50% retrace of that move, maybe you bid again, you start to make higher highs, maybe you bid again. But on the way down, it's just significantly more risky, and I'm still going to risk some money. I think there's plenty of opportunity out there, but at the same time, I'm not married to anything. I'm willing to cut stuff like you guys saw with Bone and Call and O. I'm willing to cut that stuff if I'm not feeling it anymore, if I'm feeling like I want some extra cash or some different positions. And anyways, that's pretty much where I'm sitting now. So on the weekly, just like the monthly, I'm going to get rid of some of these levels, but it looks really bad, We've still got 6 hours to close back above this low, which, that's not going to save the market necessarily, but that's a great first step. If we can get above that, make a higher low in front of 17K, maybe then we can at least talk about pushing back up to this key lower high in front of 22K. That would be a nice start. But that's the best hope. And what could also happen is just, throw up a fib retrace of this move. We could reclaim 17.5 or whatever, only to make a lower high at the 50% or 61.8 retrace and roll over. I mean, that's just as likely. You're in a macro downtrend. You're making lower highs and lower lows. So the last lower high is 21.5K. I mean, that's a lot of room. That's a lot of room to come back up and still make a lower high. So, ooh, hot girls are waiting here. Very nice. So long. Weirdo. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we're trying out YouTube today. Looks like we're not getting as many viewers, but I also streamed a little bit earlier. But anyways, people are gonna have to adapt because I think I'm done with Twitch. I just think I like the YouTube interface better, anyways. And assuming that the audio and everything is fine, I think that's what I'm gonna stick with. But anyways, weekly just like the monthly, really bearish. We got the first like serious downtick in momentum that we've had since, we've had some very minor ones in here, right? Some little dips as we make these lower highs. But the last serious reversal, right, was this trend. A big reversal, and then we started to get some big candles in the opposite direction. And that's when we broke down from like 40K. So, this could be a start of another big move down going into the end of the year. And I think it'll be resolved come the start of the year. But until then, and given the events of FTX, we just don't really know what to expect. We don't really know how much damage has been done. I mean, every day since the start of the FTX drama, it seems like something new comes up. FTX was halting withdrawals, and then FTX is insolvent, $4 billion in debt. Oh, suddenly it's $10 billion in debt. Oh, suddenly Alameda is also broken. Oh, suddenly customers can't get their funds off the exchange, and then now what is it? Crypto.com's insolvent, BlockFi insolvent, all these different funds insolvent. What else? Bybit now, maybe Bybit's looking like that might have a problem too. Like KuCoin, we just don't know. It's just so much shit. We don't know how much these funds have and how much they're gonna liquidate. Like, we can look at all the on-chain metrics we want. We can look at how much is in these wallets, and Nansen says this wallet is tied to Block Tower or whatever, and they're liquidating this. So there's just so much uncertainty. It's a very risky time to be super aggressive. Like in the bull run, I'll be honest, there were times I was risking 10-20% of the account just on the open trades, right? Just to my stops, let alone, you wake up, they run through your stops, you're down 30-40%. It's not the time for that by any means. 2, 3, 4, 5% on some trades. All right, I get it. Maybe you're running the hedge against some of your longs. Okay, I get it. But I know guys in here as well that are just not really trading. They're just waiting it out. Taking 10-20% of their portfolio, playing around with that, and the rest of it is just sitting in stable coins. And, speaking of stable coins, I mean, I know people that aren't even willing to do that, that they're just sending all their money to the bank. They're cashing out long-term stuff. We're seeing wallets from 2010 starting to move again. Like, there's people that are really giving up just from this one exchange going down and screwing over an entire ecosystem. So it's a crazy time to be trading. I don't think crypto is done. And I think a lot of people are actually going to get jebaited into this mindset of, okay. FTX equals crypto. FTX equals dead. Crypto is dead. That's like it's literally gonna look like this, right? Ooh, full screen is nice. It's gonna look like this. FTX equal crypto. FTX equals dead. Crypto's dead. Simple as that. Okay, great. I mean, it makes so much sense. Crypto's dead forever. People are gonna get memed into that. Now, obviously, everyone understands, sure, it could be true, right? This could be the end of crypto. We're never getting another bull run again. Whatever, right? Somehow DeFi is just going to go away. No one's going to build in the market anymore, right? Like, I don't know. It seems a bit outlandish. The biggest fear that I actually would kind of, side with is the regulatory fears. This is a fantastic opportunity for some of the regulatory assholes to come in and say, look, crypto is a scam. These people can't be trusted. We need to go in, and the SEC needs to do all this bullshit, right? I really hope that doesn't happen. I think there will definitely be regulatory repercussions from this, but I don't think it's going to be ridiculously drastic to the point where, it's illegal to trade crypto in the United States, right? I don't think they're going to go that far. Especially since the U.S. customers are not supposed to be trading on FTX anyways, but at the same time, FTX US is also insolvent. So, like I said, we just don't know the impact of what's just happened, right? Like, I know a lot of people want to reference like the stock market crash from 2008 and whatever, but now don't no one lynch me for this. I don't got the man. Just as an aside, it's so sad to see stocks double bottoming off the 200, ripping up, and we're just getting wrecked because of Alameda. Anyways, what I was saying is a lot of people comparing it to, when Enron went bankrupt, and it's like, Enron when Enron went under, that was the bottom. But if I recall correctly, Enron went under somewhere in here, and then the aftermath, or maybe it was in here, I'm not sure, but the aftermath was still down, and by a lot. It didn't just bottom because Enron was done. That screwed over so many different businesses and companies and traders and hedge funds and all this shit that the unwind after that, or as a lot of people are calling it, the contagion from that event, right, affected the market for months and months after. And I think we're gonna see the same thing here. I don't know how drastic it's gonna be. I don't know if it's just gonna be a shit ton of sideways, slow bleed, and then a capitulation event. If there's not gonna be a big liquidation event, and the real pain is just a slow grind down. I'm really not confident enough to say one way or the other what it's probably gonna be. I would just be bullshitting you guys, to be honest. But I think either we fall off the cliff really soon, or maybe we bounce to like 18.5, make a lower high, and then fall off the cliff. That's kind of how I'm expecting it. Hopefully resolved by the end of the year. Not necessarily a bear market over, right? Like, this is where the bear market was over. This is the bottom. Keep that in mind. This is a good run, some good bounces along the way, right? But the real bear market ended right after the Bitcoin halving in 2020, and the next one is all the way over here in 2024. So, we could bottom somewhere in here, right? Get a nice bounce up, for 10 to 20K or 15 to 30, something like that. And then we could slow bleed back, wherever the bottom is. We could slow bleed back from up here to a higher low, leading into the halving in May or whatever it is, 2024. I think that is a very reasonable outlook. Good way that, I kind of see it, maybe something like this. Something like this, maybe we bottom here, maybe we go a little bit lower down to like 13 or 12, bounce back up, giga nuke, higher low, boom. Something like that, or something like this or this, followed by a move higher, followed by a higher low somewhere over here, and then a move higher. That's what I'm expecting, but we really don't know. That's what I'll say. So yeah, weekly bearish, monthly bearish. For a while it was kind of bearish to neutral. Now, in my opinion, it's almost completely just bearish. Like, there's nothing good about this. Not only are we about to close a new low on the weekly and close below pi on the weekly for the first time ever, but you're still making lower highs. The macro looks terrible. The FTX situation is absolutely terrible. It's really not looking good. So hopefully all this fear is gonna bullshit us into a crazy bounce and we're all just bearish at the bottom. That'd be really nice, but for now, it really looks quite bad. We didn't even really get a good bounce. I mean, we could outline. I could do some lines and outline about 5 or 6 key levels here, but really, it's kind of like this. I would say that is the key level. Maybe, if you want to be a little bit more point accurate, you could tighten it to like here or something, right? Lowest daily close, lowest tick, something like that. Well, we pretty much retested that. We pretty much came up, we retested the lower end, which is the wick over here, and we retested this region here, and we just flopped ever since. Didn't even clear the daily 8. There's still a chance, right? We come in and we make a higher low, in front of here, and then maybe this 8 EMA comes down. Maybe we get back above that, retest it, and move up higher. I think that's a pretty reasonable outcome to this. But what's just as reasonable is we just put in a key lower high. Bitcoin is struggling to even maintain like a 1 hour uptrend. You know, we can't even get above the 8 on the 4 hour, let alone the 8 on the daily. I mean, things just look really bad. You know, I'm trying to find reasons not to be bearish, but I mean, it just looks really, really bad. And I think we just got to get rid of all the garbage left over from this FTX drama. And, you know, I'm sure a sick short squeeze is building. So many people are shorting right now. But at the same time, there's not many buyers. So it's like, yeah, everyone's shorting. We're going to rip, right? And I can see where you're coming from. But at the same time, there's no bid. There's no bid. Market makers are not bidding this shit. I mean, look at the... Well, this is Bitstamp, so it's kind of a bad example. Let me get a better... Yeah, look at the volume profile since the FTX shit. Like, it is just dead. It is just dead. There's honestly no reason to be trading this right now. Like, I think you could just as easily, excuse me, sit on the sidelines and just wait it out. Now, coming from someone who's not on the sidelines, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, that's just my risk tolerance. I'm okay to risk a few percent on a short here. You know, banged out a pretty good short on Solana last week. Made about 15, 20% on the account from that. So I'm willing to risk 3 to 5% on another short. Because I got a lot of open longs. You know, I've got some stuff locked up long term. I've got a fat bag of Excalibur, my only Arbitrum exposure, the first native DEX on Arbitrum. I think that's going to be a really big opportunity. I don't think it's going to be a big opportunity this week or this month. But I think it's going to be a really big opportunity. I think that you're gonna want to have a position in that at some point. I'm hopeful that we'll see maybe 20 cents for Excalibur. Right now it's about 40. 20 cents would be a $1 million circulating market cap valuation. So at that point, I would put a little bit more cash in, and then it's just gonna be a waiting game for me. I'm already a pretty big holder. I've got enough that if it goes to where I expect it to in the coming year, it's gonna be a big dub. And, you know, if everything flops, no big deal. I'm going to try and have an open short hedge. I've still got some cash, you know. I feel pretty prepped for wherever this goes, but I think the majority of people are better off just, you know, maybe having 20, 30% longs and then just have the rest in cash and just wait it out. I don't know. I don't see any way that we go up from here other than a very quick short squeeze, you know, something like this that just rolls over. What exchanges do I use? I'll be honest. The only exchange I use right now is WooTrade. And just like every other exchange, the volume the last week is terrible. But the liquidity is still pretty good on WooTrade. Like, I've had no problem with slippage on Bitcoin and Ethereum. With altcoins, though, guys, on any exchange right now, you got to be careful with slippage. Even just, you know, 25, 50K. Which, okay, a lot of people are not trading that. But, you know, if you're using 5K and you're trying to get a nice little leverage play, I mean, 50K, like, you're going to see some slippage on that on most altcoins because the liquidity is just absolutely dried up. Ugh. But yeah, honestly, only WooTrade. If you don't know about WooTrade, you're seriously missing out. All you got to do is stake, like, a couple $100 of WooTrade on their exchange, and you pay 0 trading fees. So you want to ape into a trade, you want to ape right back out a minute later, go for it. All you're paying is the price difference. That's it. You don't got to worry about the 2% or the 0.2% trading fee or whatever. And let me tell you, that shit adds up. Every month, WooTrade tells you how much you're saving. I've saved anywhere from 10 to 20,000 to even upwards of $50,000 a month on trading fees. Albeit, you know, I'm trading 10, 20, $30 million volume, which is not a flex. You know, it's just showing that you're not going to save 10K trading 100K, but you're going to be saving money that you would not be saving on Binance. I almost said on FTX, but on Coinbase, on wherever. You know, Binance is kind of getting there. Like, Binance has, I think, 0 fees on spot, but I don't know about you guys. I don't trade spot on centralized exchanges that much. Usually if I'm trading spot, I'm just going to do it on the DeFi side. But, you know, it's a start for Binance having spot zero trading fees. That's really nice. But if you trade perps, you know, futures a lot like me, you're going to want to be on WooX because they've got really solid liquidity. They don't have every coin. You know, they're still working on adding coins, but especially for the majors, the liquidity there is just unmatched. And then Robinson Hope, what's a scenario of capitulation looking at volume that you would go in heavier while it's happening? I don't know that I would go in super heavy while it's happening. Just being honest, and I'll tell you the straight up truth. I mean, I during COVID, I had a pretty nice short position opened on this bounce. You know, we broke the bands, we retested it. I was actually trading this on the long side in here, and when this trend broke down, you can't really see it, but it's right in here. Flipped short, took some profits, and then I closed all my shorts at like 6K, thinking like, holy shit, we went from 9 to 6 in like a week. This is toast. You know, it's gonna bounce, and then it dropped 50%, and I sold. Like, you know, I was short from here to here, but I still had a bunch of shit that I owned. I sold so much stuff on these 2 days, like absolutely puked to the bottom. And then I just got back involved in here. I was like shorting this move up and everything. And then I just realized I'm wrong. Got back involved. You know, oh, went from 3K to 9K. Oh, I got to get involved in 9K. Don't really care. It didn't matter. And I got involved in here. And if I had just sat, closed my shorts here, and waited, it would have been so much less stress. And I would have lost a lot less money just trying to buy a candle like this. You know, you don't know, you know, because you got to consider at one point the candle was right here and the volume was already enormous. It already looked like, holy shit, this is the bottom. You know, we ran the lows, got back above it. Holy shit, that is the bottom. Look at the volume. Look at this giant candle. It's got to be. And then it wasn't. And sure, COVID was kind of unique. You know, UV bottomed very quickly, but that's not always going to happen. Sometimes you get a candle like that and then you go sideways for months. I think that is a better buy than just trying to go on the way down. So, because you're just kind of gambling, you know, like look at the massive volume increase here and the large buyback here. And all it did was go straight sideways and maybe 5 or 6% higher and then nuked again. That could just keep happening. You know, it could happen to 15K, 12, 10, 5. We just really don't know. So, you know, just being honest, I would probably not go super heavy on the way down unless we hit like, I mean, if we hit like 6K, okay, yeah, you know, you could probably go heavy, but I would just nibble on spot on the way down if you're feeling it. You know, buy some Bitcoin at 14, 12, 10. Maybe buy some Ethereum if it gets to, you know, 600, 500 bucks, 800, whatever you like, and then just wait it out. You know, be patient. It's gonna bottom. You know, following a candle like this, you know, when you get a candle like this, that's a nice candle. That's a good candle to be adding on. Yeah, you're not buying 4K, you're buying 5.5. Whatever, you buy some and then you wait, right? You're not buying here, you just wait and you wait and see how it goes. Okay, maybe it goes up a little in your favor, maybe you take some off, you're waiting it out. We were getting a real established uptrend now, higher lows, maybe you're adding on these little dips here, right? We come up into resistance, we reject, lower highs, but still making higher lows. And now you're just kind of waiting, right? And then you get the breakout over here, you're getting long, and all of a sudden you got a new trend. You don't got to worry with all the bullshit, and you don't got to worry about losing all your money in this crap before the big money really comes. Right? Like same here, you know, I made the most money in 2019 and here. Not catching this. We did actually have some pretty good buys down here back then. But really, the majority of the money was made in here. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. And it was, I mean, it wasn't stress-free because I didn't even think the same way I do now back then. But in reality, it's much less stress-free waiting for that than just trying to time every nice candle on the daily. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I'm not sure if that was really helpful for you, but I would just be really cautious trying to step in front of this freight train when we really don't know just how bad it's going to get, right? So set your levels in the monthly, 14, 12, 10, whatever you like. I think it's okay to buy some on the way down. I think that's fine, especially if you've been a better seller, 50, 60, 40, 30, even 20. If we get down to 10, I mean, that's a really nice discount. I think it's okay to buy some. Spot, I wouldn't go into the leverage. Don't go for liquidation prices, guys. Because, like I said, as fast as they can hit 14, it can hit 10, it can hit 8, and it can be back at 15 before you know it. And you'd hate to buy at 10, get liquidated at 8, and then it's back to 15 the next morning when you wake up. You don't want to see it. Rather, you bid 12, you bid 10, maybe only $10,000 instead of 50, but you wake up and you've made $10,000 profit instead of liquidated for your $10,000, and it also bounced, right? So, and in addition to that, when shit goes down really hard like that, instead of buying something like Bitcoin, which I'm okay buying some spot Bitcoin on the way down, but I'd rather buy something like, for example, Excalibur, right, which is at 40 cents, and this just happens to be the project I'm obsessed with right now, but it's really whatever project you believe is going to be sticking around in the future. Something that maybe wasn't affected by FTX. Maybe they haven't had their own bull cycle, so the chart's not already screwed with a billion bag holders. This one, there was a pre-sale at 35 cents. It popped. A lot of guys sold. Now it's gone down. Other guys are panic selling. Most pre-sellers are gone. It's really just people bidding for the long term. And, some of those guys think they're in for the long term, but I'll tell you, Bitcoin goes to 10K, these guys are going to puke. And right now, like I said, the liquidity on altcoins is dead, like rock bottom. So if someone pukes this down to 20 cents, it's $1 million market cap. I'm buying and betting that at some point in the future, this project will be worth more than $1 million. With Bitcoin, it's a little bit different because it could go to 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, and it's still at a valuation that is not, that was not, I don't know. Bitcoin's $5,000. It's still going to be hundreds and hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. It's still a reasonable valuation. Excalibur was 20 cents. I buy sub and I forget about it, and that's the end of it, right? I bet what I'm willing to lose to zero, because at $1 million market cap, you're basically at zero. You're just waiting. It's either going to stay at zero forever, and you put in your 3, 4, 5% risk, whatever, and that's the end of that, right? And then if it stays there, it stays there. If it doesn't, you make money. And then if you start to get heavier and heavier, I'm getting a little bit heavier in this one, you play on the short side a little bit, right? And then you short down, you short down. When you close some shorts, you buy some longs. When you buy some longs, you close some shorts. So that's how I'd rather play. I'd rather buy some really cheap altcoins that I think will survive, because they're going to get hit harder. Bitcoin drops 50%. This shit's going to drop 80%. That's just how it goes. And if this drops 80% when Bitcoin goes to 10K, also, I'm not trading this on leverage, so I'm not going to get liquidated. 10 cents, you're talking a 500K market cap for the first native DEX on, in my opinion, the best layer 2 ecosystem in existence, which is Arbitrum. I don't know. It seems like a pretty straightforward bet to me, versus Bitcoin buying at 10K is not quite as straightforward. That being said, most altcoins are going to rely on Bitcoin's strength. So, you're also okay just waiting for that strength. Wait for the close above the monthly 8. You don't have to buy the bottom. As someone who, honestly, guys, I am notorious for selling the bottoms. And, I'm not going to brag or nothing, but I made some pretty good money over the last 3 years for really, 5 years now, even by selling the bottoms dozens of times. Right? Like look at a spot on this chart. Guess what? Puked it. Guess what? Puked it. Guess what? Puked it. Puked it. Puked it. Puked it. Over and over and over and over. But I didn't puke it and then screw off for years. I still caught some stuff in here. Caught some stuff in here. Didn't really catch anything there. Caught stuff in here. Definitely caught stuff in here. Caught stuff in here. This screwed the fucking pooch here. But, nowhere in here am I pointing to I bought here, I bought here, I bought here. That's nice, but I tell you what, I have also bought candles like this before. I mean, I bought this at 4,000 on BitMEX. I had open longs 4,000. And guess what? I closed them at 5.5. Closed them at 6. because the uncertainty was there. Shit was crazy. 4,000 to 6,000, a 50% pop on Bitcoin after a massive nuke. I'm out. And then you look back, well, why didn't you just hold? It looks so obvious, like, oh, I'm going to buy the bottom and I'm going to hold. Like, well, no, you're going to buy 10K, you're going to sell at 15 because you made 50% in a day. And then it's going to go to 13, you're going to feel like a genius, and you're going to wake up, it's going to be 20K. And, it's just hindsight. I mean, it's not to say there's not chads out there like, Crypto Cobain that are pretty much just buying the bottoms and selling the tops. Those guys obviously exist. Most of us are not that guy. I am not that guy. I don't sell the top often. I don't buy the bottom often. If I sell the top, I tend to buy it back. Sell the top and boom, I'm back in and I take a loss. No, I'm back in, I take a loss. But it goes both ways. Sell the bottom, great. I'm back in, dub. All right, so just keep that in mind. I mean, the ecstasy of buying the bottom tick is sure unmatched, but the stress is definitely going to take some years off your life. I'm just letting you know. It's just a fact. There ain't nothing more harmful to your body than stress, other than the bullet, I guess, or cancer. Anyways, getting off topic here. Not much more to say about Bitcoin. As far as positions go, I am in a little short trade. I had some shorts on some shit coins. I had some sushi, which I closed before it popped, thankfully. I had some ape, which is not really doing anything. So I just decided before I went to bed last night, I'm going to close up my shorts and then I'm just going to stay flat. And then 30 minutes later, I was like, you know what? Bitcoin looks absolutely garbage. I'm going to reopen a short. And then at least I'm only managing one position, and it's Bitcoin. I know it's liquid and all that stuff. So went short. Went short where? 16.8. Yeah, went short like right before we broke down. 16.8, right in here. Stop above the high. That's my only position open right now on the short side. And then I've got some Wu Trade perps that I've got open that I'm honestly considering closing, because that, Bitcoin doesn't look good. Wu Trade's not going to look good. Simple as that. And then outside of that, it's just a bunch of shit coins. I got some Amplify. I got some Fund. I've got some, what the hell else do I have? I got a bunch of random. I got some Revest. I got some SpareX, some ESGMX locked up. I got a little bit of WASDR. Just like some little shit bags, some stuff that, all together, this stuff adds up to less than I made on that Soul trade, earlier last week. So that stuff is basically hedged. And now my goal is just to hedge this giant XCal bag I have now, which was about 12% or 15% of my portfolio. But then I took out a bunch of cash last week. Just, stable coins are going to crash to zero. Like kind of not just freaking, but also, made some decent money on the hedge side. So I wanted to cash some of that out. And I actually cashed out a little more than I was originally intending to. So now, instead of 15% XCal, I'm basically, I don't know, like 30% XCal, which is not something I would recommend to anyone else. But again, the size of my crypto portfolio relative to the other stuff outside of crypto, if XCal goes to zero, it's going to hurt, but I'm not ruined by any means. And, I'm confident in the devs. I don't think they're going to rogue. They've got a couple of audits done. Things look fine on the smart contract side, So, I'm willing to hang on and see how it goes. Anyway, is mine still... See how far behind I am. Oh, here we go. Let me go live to make sure everything still sounds good. But I'm not ruined by any means. Yeah, okay, so we're still good. But, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Short Bitcoin for now, which, I might cut break even if we pop back at 16.8, because I'm not really willing to take any losses on these shorts if I'm getting into profits. But, short Bitcoin, long XCal. I got a little Amplify, a handful of other little bags, and I got some cash, and that's about it. I mean, nothing super interesting from me lately. I will say the most interesting thing, and I'm going to try and make a note in the comments, because I had some people that wanted some details on this, but we're cleaning up the Discord a little bit, all right? We've got some guys in there that have been in there for a while. You know, some people I let in the bear market, the last bear market, some people that joined. You know, there was about a year where I wasn't even charging anyone for Blockcircle, and so some of those people are in, and they're not paying, and it's a bit just unfair to the people that are paying. So we're starting back up. You know, we're gonna be making sure that the people that are in the Discord are paying, and in addition to that, which is also another reason that we're gonna be doing this, because we're gonna be starting to offer a little bit more. We've got a full-fledged data analytics platform coming that's gonna have all kinds of statistical models based on, you know, on-chain, off-chain data and stuff. We're gonna have metrics that these other guys like HighBlock and Glassnode, metrics that they don't have. We're gonna have some sweet stuff on it, and that's gonna be included in the membership. So we don't really want people in the Discord that might also have access to that aren't paying for it, because it's gonna be a pretty insane amount of alpha, if you will. I don't really like to overuse that term, but really there's a lot of extremely useful data that's going to be on this. That's, in my opinion, absolutely worth $100 a month. I mean, we're looking at some of the competition, what they're offering from some of the more expensive subscriptions that are going to have some of the similar metrics that we have, and it's way more than $100 a month. It's hundreds, sometimes even over $1,000 a month for these platforms. So we're pretty confident with what we're going to be offering for $100 a month, which will be access to the Discord and access to the data analytics platform. But we're also launching a tier 2. That's the tier 1, $100 a month or $99 a month or whatever. You get access to me, the Discord, my partner Basil, and you get access to the data analytics platform, which will be live in 2 to 5 months, 2 to 6 months, something like that. And then tier 2 is going to be $500 a month, and that's going to include, of course, the Discord access to me and Basil, access to the data analytics platform, but also access to 2 private channels in the Discord that are going to be giving premium signal alerts. Not signals like my personal trades. You know, all my trades, everything I'm doing in crypto, it's still going to go in trades. Everyone paying the tier 1, $100 a month, you get access to everything I'm doing, all the education, everything. The signal channels that are going to be in the tier 2 are not me posting a trade. It's going to be channels that are how to explain it. There's channels that are analyzing all kinds of data from Twitter, and it's going to be trying to find crypto related accounts or NFT related accounts or anything remotely crypto, and it's going to try and find that for us as soon as it starts. We've seen a few different groups trying to do something like this, and we thought, you know, we can do something like this, and why shouldn't we? But, you know, I look at these channels a fair bit. It's just there are so many projects every single day. I mean, it'll be great to have some tier 2 guys going through that, because they're going to be finding some hidden gems. I mean, there are, you know, NFT projects that launched on Twitter with 10 followers, and they're having free mints that are, you know, 5 Ethereum. And those projects are out there waiting for us to find. So tier 2 is really going to be for those deep divers who have some time and really like trying to find that hidden gem, you know. And so there's a lot of alpha in that, absolutely. And then in addition to that, the tier 2 guys will also get extra hand-holding, you know, one-on-one consulting with me and Basil, you know, whatever they need to improve their trading experience, to get further in their trading journey. And I won't say it's for everyone. You know, some platforms want to try and upsell the highest tier to everyone, and that's not what I'm trying to do. And I'm not even talking about the 3rd tier, which is like a diamond tier. Like, this is for people that really need one-on-one consulting, you know, multiple times a week, every week. And I'm not really advertising that. I don't know that there's people like that in the group. There might be, and if there are, if you really need some serious extra help, we do have a more expensive option. It's just, you know, because it's a very serious, you know, multiple hours a week extra time commitment to us, we have to charge a lot more. So that's why I'm not really talking about. I don't think that one's going to be for most people. But tier 2 is definitely going to be for a lot of people. Anyone who likes to deep dive or just wants extra committed time, you know, one-on-ones, consulting from me and Basil, that's going to be for you. And honestly, again, we're trying to figure out the rates right. We know some consultants in this field, and these guys are charging $500 to $700 an hour for consulting. It's not that's not a number out my ass. I mean, that is just straight up a fact. And clients are booking these, an hour. Well, tier two, $500 a month, and you get one-on-one access to me and Basil, and you get access to the Discord, and you get access to the full data analytics platform, and you get access to the 2 premium signal channels that are going to potentially have 50x, 100x projects posted in them. No guarantees, of course, and it's going to be up to you. I'm not going to be constantly digging through there and finding all the gems. I am looking through there, but I miss over stuff, and if we get a bunch of people in that tier 2 that are all looking at it, there's a lot less that's going to be mixed over it or going to be missed. But again, that's not for everyone. Some people don't want to deep dive. They're just coasting through. Some people don't need extra help. Tier 1's going to be for you guys. If you feel like you kind of know what you're doing, but you just want to be a part of the Blockcircle, if you just want to be a part of the data analytics platform, the tier 1's going to be what you're looking for. And man, I wish you guys could see what's going on with the platform too. It's gonna be so sick. You guys are gonna have to thank Basil. I mean, he is just a living machine. That man, he's building something really, really special. And Glassnode and Hyblock, these other SKU, the other data analytics platforms. I mean, they offer some good metrics, but gosh, there's just so much data out there, and there's so much new data that a lot of people don't know what to do with it, don't know what it's actually going to be inferring, and we're going to be making use of some stuff that is really interesting that you're not going to find anywhere else other than Blockcircle. And again, it's going to be $100 a month. But anyways, for those of you guys that are in Blockcircle, you've been in there a bit, you've been enjoying the freebies, you got 100x on Woo, 100x on Spell, all for free. I hope that was pleasant. That was a little gift from me, not charging you guys all this time. But we're gonna start charging up again, and people who are not paying members are gonna be out of it. So, and that's cool. No hard feelings if you guys enjoyed your time, but you don't feel like paying. I wish you the absolute best. But we're gonna have some killer trades up in there. It's gonna be a damn good time. But anyways, you got any coins you guys want to look at? I mean, again, I'm kind of just keeping it simple right now. Mainly focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then DYDX is really the only high cap altcoin that I'm interested in buying on the dips. Everything else, I mean, they all look well. Axie's had a crazy. Oh my gosh, what the heck is this? $6 to $20 to $4 in the same day. Holy shit. Anyways, I was just gonna try to say everything looks basically like this, really gross, except ETH BTC looking good. But DYDX looks like this. It looks actually really damn good. So that's one of the only high caps I'm interested in. BTC ETH, DYDX. XCal is my favorite low cap. I'm accumulating that one hard. I would like to get some WASDR again. I still got a moon bag, but I would like to get some size back on that if we get back to like a penny. Yeah, if we can get back to a penny. Don't do this. You're not gonna give me the full history. Come on. There we go. Yeah, if we can get a dump. Oh wow. If we can get a dump back to a penny down here, back from the summer lows, I'd be happy to pick some up. That would be about a $3 million market cap, and I think this project is worth a lot more than that. So. I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to look at today. Let me check. Someone was DMing me something, and I want to make sure I don't miss it. Yep, commented on the premium signal channels, T2 subscriptions. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Again, first YouTube stream, so we only had a handful of people in here, so we're not going to really have people that are looking for chart requests and stuff like that. So it's going to be a pretty short first stream, but that'll give me about an extra 30 minutes to prep for my little get together with our family. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions about the state of the markets right now, if you need someone to vent to about what's going on with FTX, or you're just struggling in the markets, if you need some assistance with something, come into Blockcircle, right? I'm happy to help any time of the day. I always try and get back to people as fast as I can whenever I've got time. So if you guys got questions, hit me up on Discord, hit me up on Twitter, however you can reach me. I am absolutely happy to help out. Speculation on GMX, yeah, pretty straightforward to me. One of the biggest exchanges, centralized exchanges in the world, just ran off with everyone's money. So people are looking for decentralized exchanges where they can also leverage trade. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we have GMX. Pretty good liquidity. You can leverage trade. You can do it all from your own wallets. People like that shit, right? So that also kind of reinforces my excitement for XCal because it's going to be a native DEX on Arbitrum. Where's GMX mainly located on? Arbitrum, right? There's a lot of interest there. No, I don't want Wazter. I just think DEX projects in general just killed. I mean, look, the other one running with GMX, DYDX, the other decentralized exchange. Sushi Swap to a less extent, but a nice bounce, already up 30% today. Uniswap, less of a bounce, but still, it's moving up, right? People like the DeFi stuff. GMX is one of the kings of DeFi right now. So, that's certainly why it's going up. And it's profitable too. They actually make money without having to sell their own tokens. So that's always a bonus. Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Thanks as always for tuning in, fellas. I wish I had a little bit more time today, but it is what it is. But if you guys, seriously, if you have any questions, if you think about something in 10 minutes and 30 minutes and 10 hours from now, just hit me up. I always love to theory craft with people and to talk about different stuff. So hit me up anytime. I hope you guys appreciate the value offered with the live streams and the Discord and all that stuff. We're really looking to up the value as much as we can in the coming months and years. We're trying to be around for a very long time, and build out a crazy business that's more than just an educational paid group, if you will. So we got big dreams for this, and we're planning on making a lot of money, and we'd love to have all you guys along with us. So I'll see you guys in the Discord. I hope everyone has a wonderful trading week. Stay safe. Don't force trades. Don't revenge trade. Don't focus on getting back what you lost. It's gone. You never cashed it out. It was never yours to begin with. So focus on the future. Capital preservation, however much you can. Take it easy. Eat healthy. Pray your strongest prayers. And I hope everyone has a great week. Let's see if I can end the stream. How do I end a YouTube stream? This is a great way to end the first stream. I think I do this, that, bada bing, bada boom. Peace.